Friday, September 24, 2010. Looking at the Euro US dollar daily chart, doing some weekly analysis. So markets just closed up for the week. It's about 4:45 p.m. So quite an interesting week. If we bump it up to a weekly chart, you can kind of take a look at the candle here and see that's a continuation from last week. We had this range going for almost a month or so, and then Fed came out, said some stuff, and quantitative easing taking place, and that really drove the price of the euro up as dollars are really being sold here across the board, really. But notice the close here, right at the highs, coming up into the 135 psychological level. So maybe some pause there. Some of the things I'm looking at here are just the levels where the market might find some sellers, and 135 is halfway back on this huge move that we've had. So it's definitely one to watch out for. We also do have some congestion in this area, but there are other levels to keep your eye on. If we go back to a daily chart here, I'll be watching the upper side of this channel, which is way up here. I'm going to take a guess and say about 137-ish in that area. So it's still quite a ways away, but with the way this market's been moving, it's it could end up there very quickly. But anyway, just to recap this week a little bit, a lot of good opportunities here. I was only trading for a couple of days this week, and I did some live videos as well. But there was some so there was a trade here that unfortunately I wasn't able to take because I fell asleep, which is never good. But anyways, the idea being that we had that. If we go back to the 4 hour, we can point it out again. We had this reversal bar form right here, and price was kind of holding up, just consolidating after at the time what was a big run up. Looking back, that was just half the move, but I can mark that real quick. So put that right there, and then if we take it down to an hourly chart, in this area you can see that the actual setup I was looking at was this price action right here. So I had this high marked off, and I was willing to buy any close above that high. And we actually had a nice 15-minute close there. Unfortunately, I wasn't awake for this, so I pretty much woke up to this, and at that point, I would have been at taking some profit already, and was sort of a free trade. So I didn't want to re-enter, but it did come back, retest that level, and eventually take off. But I was able to get in later in the week, Thursday, Friday. So worked out good. A lot of opportunity in here as well. Took a short position up here. That's actually a live video, so you can watch that and kind of see how that progressed. That was about 85 pips. I finished the week up about 50 pips or so. So not bad for just a couple days. And looking forward, it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. The market is really just been on a tear. Coming into 135, perhaps some sort of consolidation will be expected. This move has been almost vertical if you look at it on a daily chart. So this kind of price movement can't be sustained forever. And at some point, the people will take profit, and sellers will step in for a bit or whatnot. But looking at the weekly chart by itself, it looks very bullish. Looks like there's gonna be a continuation until next week, and we'll have to watch price as it comes into these different support levels. So right now, there's no real clear setup. The buyers are still very clearly in control, but as we come up into this area early next week, it's really going to dictate what the reaction is going to be really. So that's pretty much it for what trading was like this week, and the analysis. Not too much to say except if you're a seller, be very careful. Make sure you wait for confirmation, and when price does make it up here with the rate that it's been moving at, it's going to take some time for it to turn around, if it is going to turn around. And just keeping that in mind, a lot of people, they try getting in right at the picking the high, and that's really not necessary. I mean, for example, when when we had this turnaround right here, it looks like it's, or even this one is probably a better example, it looks like it's a sharp turnaround. But if we zoom in, you can start to see that, pulling up a 4-hour chart, even before we had some sort of significant move, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 5 4-hour candles. So, about 20 hours of consolidation before we finally even had some sort of sell-off occur. So there's really no rush. A lot of time. These things take time as people unload their positions, especially the big players, the banks and the funds, and they reassess and take new positions. So just be careful out there, and best of luck trading, and have a good weekend. Thanks for your time. You're watching mugtrading.tk.